Hello. Yeah, is Umesh still there?
We'll wait for some time, Ritu. My apologies.
No, not at all. In fact,
Till the time
I mean, had you
the
still
government does
joined?
not clear the air about Zoom, we are not able to
Yeah,
go
I know.
beyond the basic level. So,
Exactly. And we shouldn't. I mean, we should explore the other options also, as have been floated on the group.
right. I think
Maybe,
Umesh is here.
yeah. Hi, Umesh.
Hi Ritu, how are you?
I am doing well, Umesh. So you had a question about, can you please repeat that question?
Yeah, see, if you see now, people are working from home nowadays because of the corona epidemic, and the future also for IT looks that they will start more towards work from home. So in current scenario and looking 2-3 years perspective, how you feel the residential will demand will be more or commercial?
Yeah, so like I said that I had, mentioned this point particularly that if you're looking at a temporary normal, right? So now they have, this is a new jargon that this people have to get used to this, the new normal, working from home. Now,
Yeah.
having said that, even if we are trying to accommodate a workforce from the home, the residences have to be equipped. Not everybody has the luxury of residences which can accommodate a peaceful place of operations, right? So it's not a
Yes.
temporary lockdown where people have temporary arrangements made where they can, conduct a meeting or have a client
Yeah.
call. Now that will
Yeah.
require for a very serious kind of a space created. So there can be a temporary rise in a more bigger residential investment, right? Now
Yes.
there is another way of looking at it. Like I said, that I have continuously maintained this throughout the session, that
Yeah.
this will keep shifting. The onus will keep shifting from residential to commercial to residential, and like that, because this cannot be a permanent solution. The
Yeah.
industry, the kind of organizations, there are organizations which will have to operate from spaces where they are right now, because they
Yes.
have their processes, their systems, their accounts, and all of that are interlinked. Now, even if you say that a few of the man force is able to work from home, there would still be senior level people who would be working, right? So these are all temporary things, but for the
Yeah.
temporary things also, you can see when I'm talking about temporary, it can be anywhere between 2 years to 3 years, right? So that's the
Yeah.
temporary that we're talking about here. Now that also, that can be a temporary rise in the residential demand.
Yeah.
It can see.
Yeah. Yeah, because if you see many of the IT companies like TCS, they have already announced that for continue to 1 year, they will be with home work from home. So if you see as a person, if he's traveling in a car or a public transport, 2 hours going, 2 hours coming, plus other expenses, and if he's having a 2 BHK, then he may look for 3 BHK or little bigger apartment. Whatever the amount he's spending on the travel and other daily expenses, he can save that type of things, and it can go in a more of a monthly installment if he's increasing
Right.
his living
I think you're
standard.
coming from a very individual perspective, which everybody felt prior to this situation. Everybody was in this mode that, we
Yeah.
can save the travel time and work from home, right? So I
Yeah.
think this was everybody's wish, which has been granted. But this cannot work in the longer run,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
like I said, that there are interdependent departments per se as well, right?
Yes. Yes.
So
Correct.
from industry to industry, it's going to differ. So when we're
Yeah.
talking
Definitely.
about TCS, we're talking about a workforce of, I mean, like, it's going to be in numbers. So
Yeah.
it's not that everybody is going to work from home. They are the
Yes. Yes.
people
Yes.
who are the new joinees, who are not the people who are the actual executors of a
Correct.
process, right?
Correct.
So
Correct.
this will differ. So you cannot actually apply the same rule to all the industries, even within the ITES also. So
Yeah.
nothing will be, as it is applicable to all the industry types. So it is just a wait and watch. It is very industry centric. It is very individualistic to each industry type, each enterprise type. And now the government also is actually in a trial and error mode, because none of us were prepared for this situation. So in fact, the best thing would be to wait, to breathe and, you know, really see how the things unfold rather than concluding and making hasty decisions.
Sure.
So in
Sure.
fact, you know, we should not be actually plunging into a lot of residential investment also, nor should we be averse ki ab hamari existing properties ka kya hoga. So I think it's a wait and watch thing, and I think that's most prudent way of approaching the whole thing.
Thank you very much. Thanks.
Yeah.
Ritu, there is another question that has been provided. So it says, with focus on the industrial and the stressed out financial capacity of developers and industries, so it seeks your opinion on whether there will be an ease in land transactions with possibly more transparency and ease in change in ownership and maybe better litigation laws in the future.
This is the need of the hour. Like I said, that the industry, I mean, the real estate industry, and then I'm talking about real estate industry in the macro level. Okay. So macro, when I say, I talk about land, because everything is built on land, whether it is a housing complex or it is retail or whatever, right? So when I talk about real estate, I think in terms of land available. Now, rightly said, and a very good question, that there has to be a relaxation, there has to be a change in the land laws that we are already seeing. Now, these are the laws which have been there. I mean, some of them have been enacted just immediately after we got independence, so they are not actually applicable as of now. Now, I am talking about the local laws, which are very state-centric. So each state needs to really look into all that. And that, of course, is the need of the hour. I really not in a position to opine about the litigation part of it, but I am sure that the litigation, the judiciary, see, there is change required everywhere. I mean, I will not make it only about real estate. A change is required in the overall system and the overall legal fraternity, the laws that we have. But talking about real estate, yes, this is the need of the hour. If we want to really make the most out of the opportunity that we have right now, this is the need of the hour, that we really look into the acts and enactments which are not serving us anymore, or make amendments to accommodate changes that we would be seeing in times to come. I hope that answers. Yeah.
And Rituji, so I am basically a developer from Bombay, and I have this question regarding the real estate segment of Mumbai. As we all are aware, the land prices have been going up, and there's no reduction in the government subsidies or government premiums or something as such. Even for the matter of fact, we hear a lot of speculations in the market that government is planning on reducing the development charges. They're trying to reduce the ready reckoner by 40%. They're trying to ease out the business clause or have a single window clearance for the developers. What do you think about it? How true is that going to be? Or just a far-fetched jumla for another government, to try and get their vote bank as much as possible? Because like how I heard somebody from the crowd say that his money is stuck in one of the projects. That way, I mean, obviously he must have invested his life savings in the project. The same way, even the amount of money or the quantum of money which is invested in one project in Mumbai is of a huge quantity, and I think that is good enough to actually spoil or make a good developer into names of history.
Right. So as I have rightly understood, your question is whether the government is doing enough to really accommodate the industry, right? That's the bottom line.
The government's, I would rather keep it that way. Has government or is government going to be doing anything to relieve the pain points of the real estate developers? Because we've been screaming on our pain points since a really long time. And I mean, the customers' pain points have been addressed with Maharera, which is a really nice thing. I applaud the government for that. But what about the developers' pain points?
Right. So, all right, this is a very difficult situation and question for me, because see, unfortunately or fortunately, this is the fact, and I actually empathize when it comes from the perspective that not maybe enough is being done for the the industry. So the industry of real estate is what I mean. Now let us look at it from a perspective of prior to this situation, okay, prior to the COVID-19 situation. And please excuse me if, and correct me if I'm wrong for that matter, that we have seen a lot of unwarranted happenings in the past, which I think so have impacted and which have added on in the times right now. Now, the industry is reviving. I mean, RERA has been a very good, in fact, reformative act from the perspective of the builders also. Now, let us look at RERA and the rules per se. Now, most of the states have adopted the rules which were framed in Maharashtra, right? Now, what the rules predominantly say is that the builder alone is not responsible for a delay in the project. Yes. There is a chain of dependence, right? So the architects, the structural engineers, the civil engineers, right up to the level of the suppliers have been made accountable. So if you see that the entire supply chain to the ultimate product which comes into being has been made accountable. So I think so it's a very inclusive act. And looking at it from the perspective of only the allottee is slightly, not right. Now, having said this, we have to look at the whole industry in a very inclusive manner, and let's not look at it in an isolation. Now the times are where this industry needs a revival. It needs a reboot, definitely, because there is this entire supply chain which is dependent on that. So whatever has been included in the act is a supply chain which is dependent on the industry, right? So even if one of the industries is ruled out, the impact is going to be massive. And I think so all of that based on, now this is my individual view. So it is absolutely, I'm using a lot of disclaimer in this, that all the industries will be rightly looked into in a phased manner. When I say phased manner, construction today is a non-essential activity as of now. So the importance and the focus needs to be actually put by the community towards getting, the extensions which are absolutely rightly required, and then asking for these kind of, leverages. So I think so that will be a better way of addressing it, because like you are in a situation where you are not able to really foresee what kind of policies or reformative things will be undertaken, so am I. But I think so this is the right approach in that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So I'll give you a very brief introduction to Dhaval also. So Dhaval is a very young, energetic, very ambitious person who's leading his own company in the real estate business.
Okay.
And a very in-depth question, of course, is very in-depth answer too. So thank you, Dhaval, for the question too.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, but I think so. I cannot really, do justice to his question, because
I mean, the next time I think in the next time in a real estate topic, which is a very critical topic, we'll try involving some government officers too.
Yeah, I think so. We should do that. But I think so with RERA, I mean, the way the RERA has been explained, I think so it's a very inclusive act. So, builders have been given their due in that. So the entire supply chain has been made accountable, which is very good, in fact. Because the builder is not the only person who's responsible for the delay. So I think so it's a very good enactment.
So we can catch hold of the government officer and say that, please, these are the concerns. You please relax your rules and regulations.
Absolutely.
I have a question.
Just to tell you one point, Rajdeep, I am just looking at the National Infrastructure Pipeline presentation that I shared with the group. One of the points that they are making, actually, just to give confidence to people, this is a very high-level committee which was formed, and they have already submitted the report. As per this, there will be around 25 crore people will be in the urban employment, compared to 15 crores or 16 crore today by 2030. So next 10 years time.
Good.
Right? And if you look at that, and 41% of the population compared to 29 today will be living in cities. and the number of cities themselves will increase from 48 to 68. The Maha cities, as we call them, Mahanagar or Badi jo cities hain. So obviously the government, when this report is accepted, there is a challenge on the part of the government to create that kind of infrastructure and also invite public, this is one of the themes.
The demand is automatically, yeah.
So supply will create its own demand and demand will create its own supply. So whether you talk of the demand of housing or you demand the supply of policy, each other will come to, complement and create an enabling environment. But thing is, like, if you read this report, it is like so very inspiring that, but it is also very, very cautious in terms of the load that it is going to create on the urban infrastructure and the need to decongest the urban infrastructure.
Right. I think that's a very optimistic and that's a very positive way of looking at where the real estate will be. So the demand is going to be increasing.
Yeah.
So
I
Ritu,
think
I'm very
the
curious.
person, I think you have a question.
Vivek has a question. Yes, Vivek.
So you are still on mute.
Yeah. Okay. Am I audible now?
Yes.
Yeah, you are audible.
Yeah. So how does COVID come under force majeure? It's not an act of God. It's a man-made virus.
No, but there's still, see, it has been already declared that it's a...
So I think that is not subject to our discussion in this forum.
Yeah, but then that is something which is right now we will not be discussing that, but it has been declared that it is a calamity and force majeure. It has been...
No, there will be a separate session for
as
that.
a force majeure.
Okay. Yeah. We'll discuss that separately. Yeah.
Good to see you. Yeah,
There
Vivek,
will
and we
be
can
a-
always discuss this offline
Sure,
also.
sure, we'll do that. Yeah.
There will be a separate session for that.
How was your session, Jaideep ji?
We have with us Mr. Jaideep Mehta, who is the founder, co-founder of the Corporate Legal. Welcome, sir.
Thank you very much, sir.
Welcome to your own group.
Yeah, thank you for being a part of this.
आप आ ही गए आखिर अपने ग्रुप में भी आज.
नहीं तो आना ही था ना. आना ही था. वो तो पता था कि और तीसरा सेशन भी चलेगा ना अभी.
No, absolutely. It was very intriguing. The first session had an amazing turnout. Of course, we are still having a lot of members coming in, coming out. In spite of the glitches that we are having, ma'am has been extremely considerate and has provided us with critical insights. Of course, she's she's being bombarded with a lot of critical questions, necessary questions, and all the questions have been answered with in-depth knowledge and with the exposure that she has in the real estate sector.
Lights on.
Perfect. So is that
Lights on. Started.
So my next target is to register real estate investment trust.
Okay.
आपने का trust
right?
You must be having any idea about REIT.
Hello, this question was for?
This question was for you only. I was talking about REIT.
Yeah, Real Estate Investment Trust.
Trust, yes.
Yeah, so they are still in the process, not made their way in our system, but yes, they would be, and they would be, the need of the times to come. So let's see how that happens. But so far, there has been no aggressive working in that sector. So.
Perfect. So I think a lot of questions have been asked. A lot of members are again coming in. So please, is there any question which you seek to ask on the real estate and this, especially the COVID-19 embargoes that are coming in and coming in as a roadblock, especially as a roadblock into the development and the progression of a sector which has been suppressed by various government policies, various government institutional amendments, incorporations of various agencies. So is there any other questions? Please feel free to ask, because this is a sector which is very close, I think, to all of us, all of the professionals, legal or non-legal alike. Everybody would like to buy a house sometime in his lifetime. Everybody would want to buy this third or fourth house, or are dealing in real estate companies or with real estate agents as defined under RERA. So is there any question that you want to ask? Please feel free. We have with us an expert in Ritu, who's come here with a lot of experience and exposure. So, if that is so, then I would like to send my greetings to Ritu for again indulging, giving us your time and the effort for coming in and giving us this.
One small question.
Please, sir.
Yes.
Hello.
Yes, sir. Boliye.
Can I? Now this right of a single home buyer is taken away by IBC. So he is at a disadvantage. He cannot file a case against a builder. आप उसके बारे में क्या कहोगे? Now the law says only minimum 100 buyers allotted should come together and file.
Correct.
Right. So single buyer has lost his right to file a case before NCLT.
Yeah, but I think so RERA is still available, right?
RERA is available. RERA remedy is available. Yes, that is there.
So it is not that the right to go to the, see now it, in fact, I would say that it has become more focused and it has become more centric towards the grievance. So with RERA in place, I think it has become more focused on the grievances of the allottee. So when point.
Recently now Nitin Gadkari, Honorable Minister, says to the builder he has instructed to dispose of the properties at no profit no loss basis.
Yes, yeah, it was a suggestion.
It was a suggestion. So इसमें भी जा सकते हैं क्या? I think Nishal was.
See, it was just a suggestion, which in fact in the session, during the session also I made a mention of that. I actually, you're not very audible, Jaideep ji. Your voice is cracking.
The minister says that even at no profit, no loss basis, all the builder should dispose of properties. So, whether in current situation that sale is also possible or not, who will buy the property?
Exactly. So, like I said, the consumer sentiment is very important here. Real estate, of all said and done, still remains a very safe investment. So there are people who will park their money. The kind of market that we are saying, when I'm talking about market per se. Hello?
Yes,
yeah.
Yes.
So there would be people who would be interested in that. There are people who genuinely need residential, or they have the need for residence. There are people who have been waiting for the markets to really come to a level where they can buy. So, I don't see a problem there. I see a problem where the builder would be actually interested in doing that. Okay, so because if you have seen that, you know, in the last couple of weeks, I don't know whether others have noticed this or not, and I'm sure you all must have noticed that there have been now ads again which are showing. So people from the real estate the facilitators here who are a part of this this session, they would agree with me that they have now started again floating the residential complexes. They have again started advertising the residential schemes, and they are actually giving a very competent rate to that. So there are people who are wanting to buy it because, like I said, that there might be a sentiment to buy or invest in properties which are now suiting their pockets. One thing. Second thing is now buying properties which they are owned by them, so that they can provide for more accommodative office space from their residents. So that can be reason number two. And third is an investor class, which would see this as an opportunity to just park their funds, because it still remains, I mean, whatever you say, it's real estate still remains the favorite when it comes to investment. So, but I see a problem in the builder actually falling prey to this suggestion. So I don't see a lot of cooperation from their end rather than the consumer sentiment. Hello?
Yes, yes.
Thank you. I think Jaideep ji is making a note as to when to buy properties when the builders make a distress sell.
God bless you.
And the same goes for the commercial spaces also.
इन्वेस्टर ही देने को तैयार है, उनसे ले लो, किसी और की वेट करने की जरूरत नहीं है.
I think the best place to go for that is DRT.
There was an ad in Midday yesterday or day before that 1+1 flat free. Now that is something which is unheard of.
Yeah, so like I said, you know, that the people have, and in fact, the builders are now getting into these, because then now what I will just add on to what Jaideep ji said, that there would be a few builders who would be wanting to get out of their unsold stock. So they would come out with these kind of schemes, but you cannot have this kind of a sentiment across all the builders, right? So there would still be certain builders who have made possibly smaller schemes, smaller projects. You might see that they are doing this, or maybe the other way around. So
जब टाटा हाउसिंग जैसे रिनाउंड बिल्डर को जब 10% now and 90% after possession वाली ऑफर देने की जरूरत पड़ जाए, you can very well imagine the state of the market.
Yeah, because everybody, because everybody,
project, not just one, 17 projects across the country. Right. Tata Housing.
And the bigger the name, bigger would be the leverages that they would be giving, right? So, because they're sitting over a lot of unsold stock. So
I think एक टाइम ऐसा होगा कि they'll give us the money, बोला ये लो पैसा लो, आप फ्लैट लिख लो.
Ritu ji, can I ask you a question?
Absolutely. बोलिए
Sunil ji. Please.
What amendments you are expecting in RERA, considering COVID-19?
Sorry, I didn't get your question. The first part of it.
What amendment or changes you are expecting in RERA due to this COVID-19 situation?
A lot of relaxations when it comes to delay in possession. See, that's the most important part of it right now. Right? Because we are actually talking about delays not of 3 months, 6 months. We're talking about delays of years, of minimum a year. Right? So I think that's the major amendment or a proviso, which will be not amendment in the RERA per se. It will be by way of submissions, which will be made by the builders.
Limitation extension.
Limitation extension, absolutely. And वो तो already उन्होंने कर दिया है, because 3 months का तो already extension उनको March से मिला हुआ है. It's post that, because now as जैसे lockdown increase होता है, उस हिसाब से they will be applying for it, and that's how it will keep extending. Because like I said, that the industry is dependent on the multiple other sectors. So if those sectors are not open, there is no demand. Absolutely, I mean the projects which are right now under process will only see some activity, but they may not see the activity if the dependent industries are not open, right? And then again, they're also subject to the fact where exactly in which zone are they. So all of these factors are going to be there. So I see that there won't be any amendment to the act per se, but there would be a lot of applications which would be coming for the forced maturity, extension of limitation, like you rightly said.
See, this construction sector, few of the construction sector are considered as essential, and they are now open and ready to work. So is that going to give any impact to RERA?
Pardon, sir?
Construction, that they are, government is planning to open up the infrastructure sector, basically, overall infrastructure sector, and that too, basically, construction is prime mover, because that is the prime mover of the country's economy. So, do you expect anything connected to this because of this permissions? Do you expect any special benefits which can come to the RERA? apart for
No,
the extensions of time limit?
infra is as such not a part of any remedy under RERA. So RERA is only for residential and commercial. So I don't see how the infra part of it will be under that. And construction is right now, which is permissible, is only in the rural areas, right? So it's not permitted in the urban. So like I said, the same thing will be applicable here, that the major respite that will be called for by the builders would be the extension of the possession dates, whether it is about a commercial complex or it is about a residential complex. Apart from that, there would not be any other aspect as of now, which I see, because infra as such is not, you can't go to RERA because who's the allottee there? Infra is not a part of RERA at all. So infra will not be.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Hi, Ritu. This is
Hello.
Vidya here. Hi, Ritu.
Hi, Vidya. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing great.
Good to see you. First time. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. Thanks a lot for such an amazing, insight into RERA.
My pleasure. Thank you, ma'am. Yeah.
Yeah. I want to I want to know that whether you think there will be a lot of correction in the market right now with with respect to the pricing of the construction and the real estate and all.
Absolutely. Absolutely, there would be a lot of correction, and this is in fact the time when we have already started seeing the impact. There are a lot of the price corrections, or in fact, just before you asked this question, we were discussing on the same lines that there would be a no profit no loss kind of a situation also, where a couple of builders, I mean, when I say couple of builders, there would be a plenty of builders who would be going into that, because there is a lot of unsold inventory, and the liquidity is what is the need of the hour, because we are seeing this situation where they are bound by making payments backwardly. So it's like a double whammy, where the organizations are not they are not running, but the payments are mandatorily required to be made. So we would be all these factors will attribute to a lot of correction in the real estate pricing. We may see a different sentiment also when it comes to each vertical of the industry. So maybe residential may see a lot of corrective, commercial may not, depending upon the size, of the commercial space, or the industry may have a very different sentiment, the industrial land, I'm saying, right? So it will vary from industry to industry and the kind of demand which is there, but we would be seeing a lot of correction in the rates per se.
Thank you.
Right. Perfect.
Hello?
So thank you so much. That was a question that was also there in my mind. So thank you, Vidya, for asking that question. So is there anybody else who seeks the indulgence of Ritu? Because I think we are at the end of our the second session too. So if there is no other questions that is sought to be asked, then I will proceed in thanking Ritu once again for your time, for an extended time, of course. And it was a pleasure having you lead us today's webinar on a topic which I don't think there's a lot of webinars that have been conducting on the real estate. I've also been getting a lot of personal messages. Sorry?
Yeah, the perspective about real estate has been very negative,
Right.
I think so I really needed to clear the air about the industry, not because I predominantly practice in that area and I have a different sentiment attached to that industry, but it is, it's a fact that you need to clear the air around it, that no sector can vanish just like that, because it's the basis for all the industries. It's the basis for our survival, our existence. I mean, we cannot imagine staying without homes, right? So that's a basic need, and the requirement is going to increase. It's not going to decrease. The only thing is how the market is going to react, the consumer sentiment. So the waiting can be more or less, but it's here to stay. So that's exactly what my point is. So thank you so much, Rajdeep, for this opportunity, and Jaideep ji for creating this wonderful group and letting me be a part.
The pleasure is all ours. The pleasure and the honor is all ours. Thank you so much. For all the audience also who's been viewing this, it was a pleasure having you all. Thank you. This is the Corporate Legal. Please visit our social media pages on LinkedIn, YouTube, and Facebook. So thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, everyone. Stay safe. Bye.